All right, what is good? What is happening? How's everybody doing today? My name is Chuck, and welcome back to a brand new video. So today there's been some more information regarding Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War 2020, aka the next Call of Duty that's coming out. There's actually just been some pre-alpha gameplay that has been leaked, in which I want to go over with you guys here today in this video. Before we get any farther in, if you guys could do me a favor and smash 200 likes on this video, that would be amazing. Really would appreciate that. Also, if you need some Call of Duty points on your account, make sure you guys drop a like on this video, hit that subscribe button with those notifications turned on. Definitely make sure you guys comment down in the comment section below. And I like to point out there is a large percentage of you guys that watch my videos, and it's almost growing by the day, that aren't subscribed. So make sure you guys hit that subscribe button, because that's a large percentage that aren't subbed yet. So just to keep it above with you guys here real quick, is that before we more or less get into anything else, is that, you know, this gameplay right here, this pre-alpha gameplay, if I happen to throw the full gameplay in here onto my video, there's a really good possibility that Activision could strike this whole video down to give me a strike on my channel. So I'm really not trying to do that and end up on the bad foot of, you know, the bad side of Activision. So for the sake of that, I most likely won't be showing a ton of gameplay within this video, but I'll try and put as much stuff up here on screen as possible. So more or less to dive into this, the first thing we have to understand is that this is pre-alpha, you know, gameplay. This is basically the farthest, you know, of what we're actually going to be able to see as a final build as you can possibly see it. Like, you know, there's your alpha, there's your beta, there's like, you know, sometimes your beta like 1.0, like a different version of a beta, then it comes to like the full release of the game. But we're seeing like pre-alpha, so like pre-early version of the game is what was actually leaked out. So that's a pretty good reason as why Activision is trying to keep a, you know, a tight lid on this, and they're really not trying to let people see this gameplay. So this gameplay more or less does a couple of different things for us. It does confirm, one, that this is going to be Black Ops Cold War because of where exactly this map is, like, you know, being showcased. If you guys want to check it out, you definitely can, but this gameplay actually does showcase the fact that he's running around in a tank sort of factory, and it actually does look a lot more like the era of the Cold War, which actually does make a lot of sense. So that's something that at least me personally, I'm pretty hyped about, because, you know, I really do enjoy modern Call of Duties, and I also enjoy, you know, some of the older ones, like, you know, Call of Duty World War II, at least in, you know, that setting, not necessarily the game, but that setting. I enjoy, you know, you guys get what I'm saying, like, I enjoy the setting without the game. And I also really enjoyed Black Ops 1, which was more or less in like almost the exact same time era. So this would be really cool that, you know, this is Black Ops Cold War. Also, another thing is that this gun the guy was running around with, I think people actually even deciphered what the gun was, and it's definitely of a gun that is a time era respective thing. So it actually, when you put the gun itself in place along with what the gameplay actually is, even though everything is still very extremely like low texture and really more or less bad quality, you can definitely see that this is a Cold War era type of video game, and that should definitely be something that a lot of people are really excited for, you know, including myself. I'm very excited to kind of more or less go back and see that Black Ops 1 type of era, considering Black Ops 1 came out in like, what, 2010? It's been a long time since we've had something, you know, go back to that era. And frankly, I'm guessing there's a lot of you guys out there that probably didn't even play Call of Duty back in 2010. Also, something I want to point out, in my previous video, we were talking a lot about the leaks this guy Victor came out with on Twitter. He was seen tweeting out a bunch of stuff in Chinese, you know, talking about all the different leaks, you know, how the game's gonna function, is it gonna be like Modern Warfare, you know, all this sort of stuff. You guys are seeing the tweets up on screen, but somebody actually, you know, said that they, you know, actually got this gameplay themselves and has actually been watching the build of Treyarch's, you know, game coming out later this year, is that this game is more or less like 1,000 times better than Call of Duty Modern Warfare. And so whether that means that we're basically going to be having a game that's incredibly awesome, you know, in a different perspective, because I think Modern Warfare is definitely a good Call of Duty. It's definitely not a bad Call of Duty. If we're going to talk about bad Call of Duties, I would probably venture to say World War II was absolutely trash for a variety of reasons. And Infinite Warfare wasn't necessarily a bad game. It just really wasn't the time era people were looking for. It was just way too futuristic after people were really tired of jetpacks. So it wasn't a bad game, but it wasn't really that great. But also, that being said, there's some other stuff people actually happen to notice when they're looking at this pre-alpha gameplay, and that there is no tac sprint, and that there is not a bunch of doors and stuff everywhere. And I should say this, and, you know, take it with a grain of salt that all the doors not being everywhere, that could just be a matter of, you know, it's a pre-alpha build, so they're not necessarily coding in doors or something like that. They're just trying to more or less get the general layout of the map. And also that, you know, with the no tac sprint, aka you're not going to be breaking the heck out of your left analog analog stick. I know my left analog stick is fried. Like, my SCUF analog stick is just absolutely demolished. It looks like trash. And that's just because you're constantly pressing down the attack sprint button, trying to double sprint around in Modern Warfare. So I wonder if they're learning from that here in the next Call of Duty, that you only got to press sprint once. Or maybe there's automatic sprint or something like that. I mean, because they have automatic sprint in Fortnite, so they definitely be good to see them have that here in Call of Duty. You can also very faintly at the top of the screen see like a little compass, basically, you know, the crap from Black Ops 4 that nobody ever used. I can't tell you this, like, when is the last time that you made a call out in a video game, been like, in multiplayer for that matter, like saying, oh, he's 205 north. In a multiplayer video game, I'm not looking to see, and especially Call of Duty, I don't know what 205 north is. I don't know what, you know, 305 east is. I'm not looking at that. Just call out the building, you know, just give me something like that. Say he, you know, he's top Broken. Say he's, you know, top Grasna. Say he's, you know, somewhere else. Give me that call out, and that's what I'm gonna know. Like, tell me he's 205 north. Now I gotta turn around and I gotta look for a whole bunch of stuff. Like, you know, get this compass out of here. I'm hoping it's just left over from like Black Ops 4 and they just, you know, threw it up on there, but I hope that's not in the final game, because, you know, nobody uses that. Just, you know, leave it in Battle Royale, maybe, like leave it in Warzone or whatever the heck if you want to do that, but don't put it in multiplayer. And also, some other people were saying that the mini map does look incredibly similar to the Black Ops 4 map, but I'm actually just throwing up at least, you know, the little directional stuff, you know, like your little compass up top, and also the mini map being to more or less like they're just using placeholder assets. They do that a lot, at least in video games, and they're developing it. They throw something in there just to kind of more or less leave it as a placeholder, just so you can see what it looks like on screen when you're actually, you know, trying to play the game, trying to play test it. So I'm assuming that's what they're trying to do. I'm hoping the minimap is, I guess, you know, maybe a little different for Black Ops 4. I mean, the Fog of War was a bit interesting to say the least. I mean, I didn't really, you know, it didn't bother me, but I mean, it was a bit interesting. But anyways, that's really all I got for you guys here within this video. I don't really want to talk too much longer. I've been rambling on here at least a little bit about Cold War 2020. I don't know how I'm exactly feeling about this game just yet. I shouldn't say that I'm not sure how I'm gonna feel about it, because, you know, as long as it's made by Treyarch, as long as it's gonna be in that Cold War type of era, which we haven't been back to for a long time, and on top of the fact that it's gonna be coming out here on the next generation of consoles here later this year, you know, PlayStation 5, Xbox Series X, whatever the heck the new Xbox is called, basically the next generation of consoles, as long as it's going to be coming out on that, it's going to look absolutely beautiful. The frame rate's going to be through the roof. I mean, we're probably going to more or less have it integrated into Warzone, I should say. That would definitely be something I would be on the lookout for. But anyways, that's more or less what I got. I just wanted to make this video to kind of more or less talk about the gameplay, the leaks, everything you guys should be expecting. If you guys have any thoughts or concerns or comments or whatever, just let me know down in the comment section below. I'd love to see what you guys are thinking about. Because, you know, obviously we've been going over the Call of Duty Cold War or Black Ops Cold War on the channel here frequently. Every time there's something new, I at least like to make an update video about it. So that's really all I got for you guys here today. If you guys want to stay up to date with everything regarding Call of Duty news, tips, tricks, updates, class setups, all that stuff, make sure you guys drop a like, subscribe, and I'll see you guys back here again tomorrow with another brand new video. Just don't forget, don't be Randy, and I'm out. Peace.